Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact. Walk in his ways. Tune in to get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul glow. We already hit the top charts. So if you're really ready, let's go. Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact. Walk in his ways. From it just to be the host. NC, co-host. Coach Shay, co-host. Prime time, co-host. Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact. Walk in his ways. Tune in to get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul go. We already hit the top charts, so if you're really ready, let's go. Now wind it up, now wind it up, now wind it up. Don't stop till the time is up. Don't stop till the time is up. Now go wind it up, now wind it up. Go wind it up, go wind it up, go. Don't stop till the time is up. Go. Don't stop till the time is up. Go. Woo. Walk his ways, impact voice. Walk his ways, impact voice. Walk his ways, impact. Walk his ways. Tune in, get your mind right. Tune in and let your soul go. We already hit the top charts, so if you're really ready, let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Voice podcast. Today is Tuesday, September the 20th, 2022. Hope everybody everybody had a great productive day, of course. And we're back on the network once again. We're live streaming, of course, on Facebook Live. You have me, myself, and you have also Miss A and C, part of the team, part of the mafia here. And we got a very special guest who will be hanging out with us tonight. A young lady here in the city of Dallas, Texas. She's an entrepreneur. She's a creative genius guru, whatever you want to call her. And she's hanging out with us, talk about her business. Just get to know her, interact with her, get to learn some stuff about her on here tonight that you may know, may not know, but we're going to get into some Q&A with her as well. And before we get started, I'm going to kick it off with Anna with the latest financial tips, of course. She got some great things. And I know you've been very productive doing interviews
Wow.
on different podcasts. How has that experience been going for you?
I'm just taken aback by it all. It's all by God's grace and mercy, and I'm enjoying every second of it, okay? Your girl has been booked, blessed, and busy. I recently recorded on the Wonder Woman podcast with the amazing Lady J, Jeremiah Frazier. That woman of God, man, I love being on there. I talked about multiplying your money. That was amazing. And of course, I've started my Tuesday leadership lives. So that has been going great. We teach basic leadership principles and fundamentals every single Tuesday. Y'all know your girl Thursday. Every Thursday, I teach financial literacy, okay? 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And just seeing the classes grow, it's doing something to my heart. When I got started in this industry, it touched me because I was in a place where I needed to do better. And I said, I wanted to help other people do better. And so to be able to walk in my purpose, to be able to serve and have fun while doing it, man, it's a blessing. Okay. I'm loving it. I've been traveling more than ever, and I have some more stuff coming up, and I've got to keep y'all plugged in with me. I have a few more interviews to do as well. But enough about Anna C. Oh, I passed one of my major exams. For those who don't know, continuing your education, it's not only necessary, it's a requirement when you want to be a boss, baby. I want to make sure I'm providing y'all the absolute best financial guidance and tips y'all can get. So I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to grow to enhance my skills, my knowledge, so that I can be a better servant. So I did. I just recently passed a major exam that I've been studying for because I'm adding to my credentials. put a little respect on my name. Okay. But that was a major achievement. I went out with my girls to celebrate. And briefly, I want to talk about the power of positive thinking and affirmations. Now, just because you are a person of impact, influence, and belief does not mean there won't be moments where you are discouraged, where you are nervous, when you are anxious. Because I'm telling y'all, I was nervous. I was crying when I passed that test, but I did honestly believe that I was gonna walk out of there and ace it. So before I even took the test, I booked reservations at the nicest restaurant I could 2 weeks in advance because I said on this date I'm gonna pass. I went on and I bought the clothes I was gonna wear. I went on, I invited my friends. The day after my test, before I even took the test, I scheduled a class, review class, because I said I'm gonna ace this test and I'm gonna teach other people how to ace it. So I set that up before I even took the test. Those are some of the things, like you have to speak positive, you have to believe it, you have to set some affirmation. And my friends were like, you gonna make reservations for a celebratory dinner before you even win? Absolutely. I walked in that thing and I aced it. And so it felt so good, so rewarding. Also because I applied myself and I studied. It takes more than just having positive feelings and hopes. You have to also do the work. You got to have a mindset of action. So, yes, I had to make a sacrifice. I had to cut my reality shows off because y'all know your girl. I love me some reality TV. I made some temporary sacrifices so I could get in some designated time studying so that I could achieve something that I have been working towards for quite some time. And so it feels good to say that's done, it's out of the way, on to the next. But as far as your financial tips, guys, I think that's just enough about me sharing about all the great stuff that's coming. I just want everyone to have a money mindset. And when I'm talking about money mindset, it doesn't just have to be tangible. Let's have a growth mindset. Let's have an abundant mindset. Let's have a winning and victorious mindset, right? Because your mindset is your first step to achieving anything you have hopes of reaching. So get your mind right, and baby, you're going to get that money right. If you have any questions that you have for me, you can drop them in the chat. You can send me a DM. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram. Y'all, interact with us on our Walk in His Ways Facebook page. You can leave comments, notes, messages. We will respond. So if there's any topic you want us to discuss or hit, if you want to be a co-host for the day, if you want to be interviewed on our podcast, hit any of us up. That's Coach Shay. That's Kenny Prime Time. The wonderful Furman Jackson. Okay, I'm so honored to be his friend. And of course, you can hit me up, Anna C. Okay, only during business hours though, because I'm them late night DMs will get you blocked. But that's enough from me, Furman. We're gonna pass it back because I'm ready to holler at my girl Mina. I can't wait to have a conversation with you.
Oh, most definitely. I appreciate you, and I give you roses while you're
Thank
alive.
you.
Yeah, I do that. I'm proud of you. I see the progress that you're doing. I see how you're elevating. I see how you're growing. And I see how you're taking it very, very seriously. And I respect that what you're doing. And also, we are available for booking for podcasts. Of course, Anna been doing a few podcasts herself outside, walking his ways. The same thing with Coach Shay as well. We thank everybody for their love and support. We thank everybody that's coming on here every week with us, hanging out with us. Of course, I've been doing the Wednesday show as well, which I'm going to be doing King's Mentality. So I'm hanging out with the fellas tomorrow night. We're going to talk about some king stuff. We're not just talking about when you being a king, you're having the money, the clothes, and the status. We're talking about character. We're going to be talking about integrity, taking the initiative, putting dudes on some game on how to really romance these women. If you really want to learn
Oh,
something, I'm going to help y'all out tomorrow night on how to do it. I'm not going to put everything out there. Fellas, take heed to it. I'm gonna say this one more time. A woman like you to talk to her. Don't talk at her. Talk to her. You talk to her, you get her attention. So leave it like
ladies,
that.
we might need to hop in on this call and listen. I'm
Yes,
saying.
That's tomorrow night, King's Mentality. I'm gonna have George Brooks here in Dallas. Gonna have King Kareem from the Living Proof Podcast on here tomorrow night. So we got a lot of work going on here in the podcast as well. And like I said, we are back on here with half of the mafia was me and Anna C, of course. We know give a big shout out to Shay and her absence, big shout out to Kenny Primetime Williams in his absence as well. And we're excited about hanging out with you, wherever y'all may be at, whether you at your place of employment, whether you at home, whether you on the road, whatever you may be watching us at on Facebook Live. We appreciate you and we love y'all. We thank y'all for that. We have a very special guest with us tonight. She's here in the DFW area, of course, Dallas Fort Worth. Um, Met her on social media as well, interact with her, gave her the invite. She's glad to accept to be here with us tonight and on the podcast. So we want her to introduce herself to the audience here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mina G. I am the owner of TPA Multimedia Studio, and that is a creative design studio that pretty much caters to branding for small businesses. So that's a little bit about me and what I do.
Well, awesome. Well, at least you're doing some here on the podcast of Walking This Ways. We love to hear people's stories, every walks of life.
Mm,
We're about people that turn their dreams into reality. You know,
right,
everybody has a gift. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a gift. If
right.
you're fearful, the Bible says your gift shall make room for you. It's not about your name. It's not about what you know, where you came from. It's about your gift. Everybody has a gift. So we love to hear people's stories yourself on how you got started. Is it something you always wanted to do? How you made that dream into reality? Because your story can inspire someone else.
That's right.
Just like what you say tonight can change someone's life. It just takes one word to change somebody's life. And that's what we're
Yeah.
all about here on the podcast. So how did you and they gave us a little we're gonna do a little stuff called breaking the ice. And it's something we like to
Okay.
do here on the podcast. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Okay. I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hmm.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh,
So people can come in.
I'm Mina G.
Okay. Mina G. What is it that you do?
I'm an artist. Uh, I do graphic design. I do customs. I dabble in oil and acrylic canvas paintings. Photography. I'm a little bit of a Jane of all trades, so to speak. I do a lot.
Okay. And what is it that you like to do for fun?
For fun, learn new things. I love trying new things, recipes, like new types of artistry. I mean, I just like trying new things.
Awesome. And I'm gonna ask you this: what is it that you need today?
What is it that I need today?
Today. Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, that's a pretty open-ended question. I don't, I don't know. Probably, I'd say more equipment for my business. I could use some more equipment, some
Okay.
funding.
Okay. And my last one is, what 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 smart advice would you give someone today?
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. You can do whatever you put your mind to. With hard work and dedication, you can be whoever you want to be. Literally, you can create your own path because I did it. So you can literally do that.
Man,
You can
awesome.
manifest the life you want. That's real. That's real.
Awesome. And that's what we talk about here on tonight. Even though we're talking about your business, talking about your brand, but we want to get to know the woman. What gets you going? What gets you motivated? What
Right.
gets you inspired to do that what you're doing? And of course I know have a couple of questions for you. I know Anna got some questions for you as well. And we just want to have this great healthy dialogue with you. I know changing the core, changing the atmosphere, changing
Yeah.
your life. You know,
Yeah.
especially within our community, you hear it all the time, breaking generational curses. You know, and it
That's
when the
right.
pandemic hit back in 2020, it changed a lot of people's mindset. You know, a lot of people lost jobs, of course. Some people never went back to work, but people start becoming business owners. People start creating money for themselves. They start generating money for themselves.
Right.
I think Amazon stock shot way up the roof because people was getting stuff on Amazon and making stuff
Yeah.
happen. People using their credit juices. So we see that whole turn went for a lot of people when in the midst of 2020. So
Hmm.
let's talk about that. I know being a business owner, and I know Anna, being in business. How did that affect you when the pandemic hit? What was your mind at the time when everything shut down? Did you just like went all over the place? What you do to get yourself to the point where you want to be at? 'Cause-
So in 2020, I was pregnant and I hadn't started a TPA multimedia studio just yet, but I had started Posh Consulting. So Posh Consulting was pretty business was pretty slow already. So uh it didn't really impact me much as far as business was concerned because I was working another job to help cover what my business couldn't cover. So during that time, that was probably the second worst year of my life. So that was a pretty tough time for me, and not because of COVID, but because of my pregnancy. It was very difficult, very difficult. So COVID really didn't affect my business per se. It just uh allowed me to sit and be still, you know, pretty much during that year. I didn't do too much.
Yeah, 'cause I know when they hit, like I said, I know a lot of people at that time was just launching their own business. They were just really utilizing their tools in order to make ends meet. 'Cause we know a lot of times people lost their job. We know small businesses took it, of course. They had some had not recovered, some did, some had not recovered, but staying productive in the midst of it. And then, of course, I got a couple of questions I want to ask you as well. And my first question is, what motivates you to work hard?
My son, my second chance in life. I actually died giving birth,
Really?
and yes, I lost a lot of blood and was brought back. So, um, I tapped into my creative side, and I started living. I started not just dreaming because I've always been a big dreamer. I really just started living and doing what I wanted to do because I refused to live this life and feel like I hadn't done anything. So that's pretty much where that went.
Okay, so basically, you just didn't want to. You had the one that you just wanted to live. You didn't just want to
Yeah,
exist. You got
yeah,
some people just existing. You got some people who just living. And I'm a
yeah,
firm
no,
believer that we should not live a suck life. I'm a
yeah,
firm believer we should not live a defeated life. I'm a firm believer that we should not live a poor me, a why me life. You have to
yeah.
get off your to make stuff happen. I'm a firm believer of that. And my philosophy is this: nobody's not gonna knock on your front door and tell you, hey, I need you to get your life together. This is something that you have to want to do. You have to be
That's
willing.
right.
I'm going biblical for a moment. The Bible said in Isaiah 119, said, if you be willing and obedient, you should eat the good of the land. You have to be willing
Hmm.
in order and obedient eat the good of the land. So that means you have to make that decision to say, you know what? I'm gonna get off my and make
Mm,
stuff happen. You don't
that's
just
right.
sit and wait for life to happen. You make life happen. So I'm glad you brought that up that you did not want to settle for less. You want to have more
Yeah.
because you know there's more in you than what
Exactly.
than around you. Anna, you have anything you want to add to that?
Absolutely. I was just intrigued by all the things that you're passionate about doing. Obviously, you're creative. You said
Mm,
graphic design, oil painting, photography, Posh Consulting, TPA Multimedia Studio. So, when I heard the word graphic design, we often think about people who inbox you and they do cartoonatures of you and things
mhm,
like that. And a lot of
mhm.
times people don't get a good understanding of what it is to be a graphic designer, what all you can do, and what services you can provide. So I would really like for you to elaborate about what are some of the things that you can do for a small business.
Okay. So for small businesses, I'm able to assist with branding. Um, so I design and draw out visual concepts. Pretty much it's my job to try to bring your vision for your business to life. So I first start with the logo and then work with other branded materials. I go into marketing and advertising with you. I help you design flyers and other printouts that you want to have. I go over legalities with you as far as starting a business and making sure you have what you need. As far as paperwork is concerned, that's kind of what I do on my Posh Consulting side. So I mean, as a graphic designer, though, it's pretty, my spectrum is pretty broad. I I pretty much draw out everything that you need drawn out for your company. Anything where someone is gonna see it, that's where I would have some kind of effect in your company.
That's awesome. And how long have you been in that business?
So I've really been doing this for 2 years. Yeah, so I'll say about 2 years.
So 2 years as an entrepreneur, but how long have you had the love for art?
My whole life. I've been drawing and singing and dancing and everything since. I mean, I play piano,
Okay.
other instruments. Like I've been a creative person since I was born. Honestly, it's just I came from a creative family. My mom is she's a singer. Like I mean, it's just I've been around art my whole life.
And
Awesome.
so, what made you be courageous enough to step out and go full time entrepreneur?
Um, so I wasn't always uh the calm one in the room, and I got into some trouble being a hothead, and I didn't have a choice because I couldn't go work a regular job because the people were afraid to hire me because of my background. So I ended up having to figure out, okay, how am I going to create income for me and now my child, and be at home to where we're not struggling, or to where we can still make it, even if we check the check, something.
Right.
You
And
had to create your
It
own path.
works.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, at least you was the type that wouldn't create your own path. And I know that is tough. And I really hate that in our society that something on your record can hold you back from making a living. And I think me personally, I think that's just a setup for them. For real, that's just my personal opinion because everybody deserves a second chance, right? In life.
Yeah.
Everybody, we all made mistakes. We all made some bonehead decisions, something that we regret. But why hold that against someone? Get somebody a chance. Get some people out there who wants to make change in their life. And why
Yeah.
prevent them from doing that? And I'm glad that you were strong minded to
Oh, of
move
course.
on and press on. Some people just go ahead and give up and just let society just take over their life. And I'm proud of you for just moving forward and
Thank you.
progressing forward. So that's a good thing. That's mad respect on
It
that as
really
well.
just it really just gave me the ammunition I needed to go ahead and start my businesses. And
Right.
so now I have 5 companies that I have started, and I'm getting paperwork in order for 5. So I didn't miss it at all. I didn't miss it, and if as long as God still grants me favor, I will continue to grow with these businesses and I'll never have to work again. So
Right.
that's where I'm headed with everything.
Right, and that's how it's
That's
supposed to
awesome.
be. Part of our slogans here on Impact Voice is elite, urgency, work ethic, evolve. I'm missing another one. I'm missing one more business. I think I said all of my things. But we believe in having the urgency, take the initiative to do something. You made life happen for you, and that's what we love to hear on the podcast. You did
Yeah.
not wait for somebody to make something happen for you. You just grabbed life by the horns, and you just knocked down doors.
Yeah.
That's self motivated all by itself. And the reason why, because it was already in you, already to make that move forward. So it's already in you.
Mm-hmm.
You just thought on you was a free thinker. You thought on your own, and you
Mm-hmm.
made it happen. And you
That's
just see
right.
and you see the results because you're not gonna say poor me, why me?
Exactly.
You didn't go out
I
there and
can't
just
see my son on that.
right.
Right.
See.
So, look, period, and that's that on that. And so, Mina, when we talk about being a woman of impact who
Mhm.
created her own lane, her own destiny, like you're thriving, but what is your ultimate goal? Where do you see your business? Let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. What are your visions for your life and your business?
Okay, so for TPA Multimedia Studio, um, I envision a creative arts studio that is holding all kinds of art classes and things for children in underprivileged neighborhoods. So I want to have a studio where they can come and learn about the arts in their neighborhoods because they may not be getting that in schools, or if they are homeschooled, let them come and experience being around other children. That doesn't necessarily have to be in a school environment if their parents are uncomfortable with that. So that's where I see TPA growing. And then with Posh Consulting, I really see that growing as more of a PR and agency firm, working with my entertainers. With Halo Entertainment, of course, that's my entertainment company. I see us growing, working with dancers and models and authors, people who want to write books and everything. Speaking of, if you are any of those, feel free to reach out to me because I am looking for people to, sign under the entertainment. But I just see the businesses, all of them, honestly, even the one that I have yet to discuss with everybody because I have that one on hush hush. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, that's the one that's really, really big. But I mean, even that one, I know that it's gonna thrive. Nothing that I open was something that is not on high demand right now. Who doesn't want to be a star? Who doesn't want to be an artist? Who doesn't want to grow and have their individuality displayed for the world to see? So, that's pretty much where I am with everything. And I think it's gonna happen.
Well,
It
don't say think
absolutely
it will
is.
happen. Don't say I think it's gonna happen. Say
Well,
it will
yeah,
happen.
you
It
know
will
what? I
happen.
know that it's gonna happen. How about
Yeah,
Yes,
that?
that
it's absolutely going to happen. If you had to speak to the audience, to a little girl or a little boy or a young woman or a young man, what advice would you give them when it comes to stepping out there and starting your own business in an industry that you may not know a lot about?
One thing my mother told me that I never forgot was to always be observant. And I know that seems like such a small thing, but life is really so much bigger than what you can grasp in your mind. And if you really just see every possible outcome, you'll really see that it's not what people tell you it is. It's not what the media tells you it is. It's not what you've been coerced to believe. You have to create a path for yourself. You have to research for yourself. You have to see for yourself. So always be observant. So that is my thing that I want to leave with my young people and my little people. If you're watching, never forget that. Always be observant.
Absolutely.
And that's what's up right there. Now, my next question for you is, what is the favorite thing about your career?
Uh, my favorite thing is that I get to be at home with my son, and spend time with him. I don't have anybody over my shoulder all day micromanaging what I do and how I do it. And I'm able to start and stop at my leisure, within my parameters, within good parameters for my business, of course. So, I love the fact that I can be free and open because I'm really a free spirit. That's just the type of person that I am. I don't like boundaries.
So that way, you're the type of woman you don't want no boundaries, no limit. You just want to say, hey, take the limits off and just go full throttle with everything. I respect it. And I know a lot of times people want to be in a position where they're financially stable, where they want to be able to do a lot of things, of course. You want to be able to go out to different places, travel, see the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And work should be fun. It should be something that you enjoy doing. It's
Right.
just something that wakes you up on a regular basis. And I know a lot of times people dread going to a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people feel like they're lost. Some people feel like this is my destiny, where you want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But what advice would you give someone who don't know where to start? Like you did, you just stepped out the box. You stepped out on faith.
The
What?
thing about it is you just have to do. You can't think about it because if you think about it, it's gonna slow you down. I watched a movie a few maybe like a week or two ago, Top Gun Maverick. Listen, that was the best quote in the movie that he was telling that younger pilot. You cannot think because if you think it's gonna kill you, you're gonna have to just do. And you know what? I use that for my everyday life. I sitting there letting my mind wander. I'm a Virgo. Listen, my mind is on overkill all day long. I'm steady going. I'm thinking about this and this and this and that all at one time. Listen, I have to slow myself down. I'm telling you, that right there is the best thing. Don't think, just do.
Yeah, you
Just
got
do.
to. Like Nike,
Yeah.
just do it.
Look,
Like
if
don't
you
think
want
about
to
it.
start a business, start that business. If you go Monday through Friday on the IRS website, irs.gov, putting the EIN number in, applying for that, that's free. Start that business. Think of a name, go put the EIN number in there. So okay, look, you got a name, you done started somewhere. You started somewhere. Just do. Just
And
do.
that's it. And I know a lot of time will hold people up, they look at their lack of funding. I tell anybody,
Mm-mm.
if you are working a 9 to 5, utilize that 9 to 5 to get the stuff that you need. If it
The
takes
money
you,
will come.
yeah, the money will come. That's why I posted my Facebook page. If you
Hmm.
keep cultivating your skill, the money gonna come
That's right.
I agree.
because people gonna pay for your service. They see something they like, or they see something worth investing into. They gonna do it automatically because they see something they like. So the
Yeah.
more you keep cultivating your skills, the money gonna come. You don't have to
Hmm.
chase the money. The money gonna find you.
That's right.
All you have to do is just keep cultivating your skills, and it's gonna find. And it takes time to. I want to tell people that it takes time. People think
Yeah.
it's about instant
It's good.
gratification. This stuff takes time. It does. It takes time. It takes
Hmm.
years in order to get to the place where you want to be at. A
That's
Fortune
true.
500 company didn't come up 500 for a company overnight.
Overnight, that's
It
right.
took years. You know, Amazon, the owner of Amazon, he started in his garage.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
right. Listen.
everything takes time, but in the
Mm-hmm.
midst of the process, you have fun in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that distractions do come, but you keep fighting and you keep persevering because
Wow.
distractions come to what throw you off course.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this one too. You probably it's about how bad did you want to breathe. Let's say somebody take you to the middle of the ocean. What you
Right.
gonna do? You gonna try to fight for your life, right?
Yeah, that's
That's the
right.
same way we have to do in life. We have to fight to breathe. You're not just
Yeah,
gonna sink. You just gonna sit there and sink. No, you gonna keep fighting. That's how we have to do. We have to fight to survive. We have to fight to live our life because
that's
it's
right.
not gonna just come to us like that. It's not gonna fall out the sky. It really not.
That's right. That's right.
So another thing we want to talk about too. I got a little fun little question. Who would you want to play? Okay, who would you want you to play in a movie? Okay, I'm gonna say this again. Who would you want to play you in a movie of your life?
Um, Somebody that's out now.
Yeah, past,
Um,
current, no matter, present.
Probably Raven Simone, and if not Raven Simone, Lizzo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like they would embody you, your essence, you and your story?
I know Raven would embody me to the T because she's a phenomenal actress. So yeah, Lizzo, I'm not really sure what her acting skills are, but Raven for sure. I know she could probably get the job done.
Oh, that's pretty dope. Do you have any major projects? I know it's something you said you're working on that you weren't gonna tell us about just yet. But what's
Yeah.
something that's going on with you in business that you're doing right now that we can plug into and support you with?
So my artistry, pretty much if you have a small business and you need some help or with branding and marketing, if you need some help making flyers and logo graphics, business cards, you need t-shirts, backdrops, you know how our friend Furman over there has his backdrop. You need one of those. Look, I got you. Come holler at me.
Well,
Wow.
it's time for another one anyway because we our logo had changed. So if you see our logo, it has all our pictures on there now. So now I got to upgrade because everybody picture on there. So I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
change it up now. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, so meaning he might be hitting you up, girl. So if we wanted to reach you, tell us how can we connect with you out there in TV land? What's your website? What's your social media? Because I want people to plug in and support you.
So I can be reached at the handle at TPA Multimedia Studio, no spaces, or Mina Graham at TPA Multimedia Studio.com. And my website is currently under construction, so Facebook or Instagram would be the best place, or sending me an email.
okay. Let me ask you: have you been going to like any of the networking events? I know Dallas Fort Worth has a lot of networking events taking place, like most like every day, every weekend, and stuff like that.
So
So
I'm sorry. I don't really get to get out much because recovery was a long process,
okay,
and then with everything that's going on right now, and with what happened, I'm a high risk person. So
oh,
being out in large crowds and everything is not really that's not really working for me. So I pretty much stay in. No, I don't. I go out, but I'm very limited as to being around large crowds because I can get sick just like that. So yeah.
okay. But I'm gonna ask you this one too. What would you say would be the most proudest accomplishment in your life?
Um, Having my son, making it through that process. That's something I can say I did because for so long I was like, God, I'm a woman, Do you not see me worthy of bringing a child into the world? Like, I mean, you let all of these people do. You got women killing kids out here. Like, I was praying hard. I was like, I'm about to be 30. You know, I want a kid. I wanted and it happened. You know, it happened. It was hard. I almost didn't make it, but it happened. And he's here, and that is my greatest accomplishment. That's my motivation right there.
That's so amazing. That's
Any other thing
amazing.
you want to say, Anna?
No, Mina, I appreciate you. I think you've said
Thank
it
you.
all. You're a phenomenal artist,
Thank you.
mother, creator,
Yeah.
innovator. And so I got it down pat. We're going to support you with TPA, Multimedia Studio, Posh Consulting. You know, if you need help with those graphic designs, hit my girl up. If you need a painter, a photographer, and she's looking, I'm telling you what my girl is looking for. She's looking for people who are just like her, who are passionate about their crafts. So if you're out there and you want to get your story told or written, you want to be a writer, contact her. If you're into music, if you're into art, this is the place to be where you can be connected with like minds who can help you elevate your gift and your
Yeah.
talents.
Yeah.
So glad to have you on the
Thank
Walking His
you.
Ways Impact Voice podcast because you're definitely a woman of impact. And
We
I'm
pre-
sure your story of overcoming is going to influence someone to do the same.
oh, most definitely. And
Yes. Thank
I know we
you.
press for time, of course. So you have any final remarks you want to leave here with the audience? Like I said, it's gonna be on our YouTube channel. It's gonna be up on Spotify, and as well, it's gonna be on Anchor Podcast.
I don't actually. I I just answer questions. I'm not really good at interviews. I'm gonna tell you that. I just, you know. So no, I really don't have anything extra to say.
Well, hey, but like I said, we appreciate you again for hanging
Thank
out with us
you.
for a little while. Like I said, keep up the great work and keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, those that's watching us right now on Facebook Live, if we live stream, don't waste time. You know, it's already September the 20th, 2022. September's flying on by. Before you
Yes,
know,
it
you got
is.
October and you got November, you got December. If
Mhm.
What have you been doing the rest of the part of 2022? Have you just been complaining and saying, why me, poor me, sitting there pointing fingers at everybody else, blaming everybody for this, blaming everybody for that, but never took accountability for your own self, took accountability for your own actions? Everybody has their own life to live.
Mhm.
You have to make up in your mind to live the life that you want to live. You're going to have to change your ways. You have to mend some ways in order you to have the success that you want. Of course, the Bible tells us that he told Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, he told Joshua, meditate on the book of the law day and night. Do not depart, you shall have good success. God wants you to have success. You should want to have success. Just because your parents, whoever in your family, didn't accomplish the things they didn't have to get a chance to accomplish, doesn't stop you from accomplishing things that you want to accomplish in your life. Everybody wants to live a good life. You can have a good life, and it starts right now with you. And don't have to wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised to us. You start
Mhm.
right now. And of course, you hear people say this: remember the graveyard. Everybody have one thing in common. They thought they had tomorrow, and they didn't see tomorrow. So we want to
That's
make sure
right.
we live our life like it's our last. Party like a rock star, but do it in a positive way, not in the reckless way, because
That's
we never
right.
know what tomorrow is gonna bring. Like I said, man, we thank you for hanging out with us. Like I said, we
No
seen on
problem.
Saturdays, and we're gonna be back tomorrow night here on Walking This Way Impact Was Podcast. I'm gonna be talking about King's mentality. I got George Brooks here in Dallas, and I got Kareem out of East. He's the host of the Living Proof podcast. He's gonna hang out with me tomorrow night. We're gonna talk about King's mentality. We're gonna talk about how to live like kings, men in our everyday life. We're not just talking about the car. We're not just talking about money. We're not talking about your house. We're talking about character. Understand the character of a king. You know, a king talks a certain way. A king do certain things a certain way. A king acts a certain way. So we really want to understand what a king is all about. So we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow night here on the podcast. I'm very excited about that. Like I said, we thank everybody once again for hanging out with us. And of course, y'all have a great night. Remember, look, take your favorite drink. What do you drink? Water, tea, Coke, whatever you drink. Look yourself in the mirror. Toast yourself. Tell yourself, I love you. Tell yourself, I have your back. Tell yourself that you're going to win. Tell yourself that you're going to achieve. Tell yourself, I'm an overcomer. Encourage yourself. Don't wait for nobody else to do it. You do it yourself. Encourage you. Love you. And everything else going to change over. We'll see y'all tomorrow night here on Walking the Way in Impact